This is the 1999 piece Maman by Louise Bourgeois. That is one of many iconic spider sculptures that she made, but she did so much more than that. She made art out of her entire life story, from childhood trauma to love and loss. She spent nearly a century making raw personal art, and we'll talk about her today. I love art and post daily videos, so follow me if you love it too. Louise Josephine Bourgeois was born December 25th, 1911 in Paris, France. Same birthday as Jesus, what? Her parents owned a gallery that dealt primarily in antique tapestries. Her mother repaired tapestries, and little Louise helped redraw missing sections. This is also around the same time that she discovered that her father was having an affair with her live-in English tutor. This is something that stuck with her for life, and her abusive father fueled a lot of her art. But so did her kind, loving artist mom. In fact, the spider sculpture from the start of this video is actually a tribute to her mom, as her mom would also weave and spin and nurture and protect. At 19, she enrolled at the University of Paris, but not for art, for math and geometry. She said, "I get peace of mind through the study of rules that nobody could change." But when her mother died 2 years later, she dropped math and turned to art. She studied at a famous school that we talk about a lot here, l'École des Beaux-Arts, and the École du Louvre. But she didn't have much money, so she would help translate for English students because translators weren't charged tuition. One of her instructors was this man, Fernand Léger, who painted this piece and is regarded as a forerunner of pop art. He was the first person that told her she was a sculptor, not a painter. In 1938, she opened up a gallery of her own, right next door to her abusive father. And that's where she met a visiting American art professor named Robert Goldwater. They got married and moved to New York, where he was a professor at NYU. Her early works in the 1940s represented her difficulties transitioning into a new country. She made raw, emotional sculptures carved from junkyard scraps and driftwood. In 1954, she joined the American Abstract Artist Group, where she became friends with artists like William de Kooning, Mark Rothko, and Jackson Pollock. Her art was always visceral, about everything from sexuality to motherhood to fear of abandonment. Like this 1968 piece, Fillette, which is literally a giant dangling latex phallus. This played with the ideas of gender and power, but also shocked audiences. But despite decades of making groundbreaking art, she didn't get real recognition until 1982, when MoMA gave her their first ever retrospective for a woman artist. She was 70 years old. Louise Bourgeois died on May 31st, 2010 in Manhattan. She lived almost a full century, born in 1911 and passing in 2010. From modernism to contemporary, she never stopped experimenting, and she never stopped making art.